Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And tonight, we are live. We're going to talk about Frank Ntilikina going up against Team USA. Derrick Rose talking about the Knicks and Phil Jackson and whoever else. And now Inez Cantor doing the same thing. Let's get it. Go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. I got Guermo in the chat. And I know Guermo has some things to say, and whoever else is going to join us in the chat is going to join us too. I was just talking to Guermo, and I know he's got some things to say about Derrick Rose and all of that. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about Frank Ntilikina and Team USA going up, or Frank Ntilikina going up against Team USA. You know, how much does that really mean for Frank Ntilikina? You know what I mean? If it means anything at all. I'm pretty sure there's some people that's going to feel like it means a lot if he can perform well going up against all NBA players. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the criticism that's come with Frank Ntilikina being in FIBA is that the games that he has played well hasn't been against NBA players. So now he's going to get his chance to shine against NBA players and in a game that really does mean something. It's bracket play now, right? So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing started so I want to hear what Guermo has to say about Mr. Derrick Rose coming at the New York Knicks. You know, so let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Guermo, what's good, man?
Yo, what's good, Sam? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
It was good, man. Watched the games with a bunch of friends from high school on Sunday. Of course, my bum-ass Jets lose basically in the fourth quarter. I was drunk, and I watched your Giants. I had Zeke Elliott on the Cowboys, but I was still rooting for your bum-ass team, and of course, they got destroyed. So all in all, it was a pretty painful Sunday. But, you know, it's all good, man. Watching these Frank highlights, against Australia.
I tell you what, I was highly disappointed in the Giants. I was highly disappointed. But the first series.
Yeah,
right?
Barkley. Woo.
Yo, the first series, the Giants stop the Cowboys. Boom, we get the ball back. We come down, Barkley does his thing. Score to Ingram, and I look at my wife and I said, "When's the Super Bowl this year?" Right? I knew I shouldn't have said it. I was just joking, obviously. But I looked at my wife and I said, "When's the Super Bowl this year?"
I don't know about all that.
Look, I was gonna tweet that. I was just to troll people. I was gonna tweet the Super Bowl is when.
Shit.
I should have just stopped. I should have just I didn't tweet it, but I should have just stopped playing around.
Just go play by play, man. I was watching that. I was like, you guys are gonna get killed. First quarter when Saquon, I think it was maybe his second run of the game. I can't remember. He ripped off something like big. I was like, oh, okay, my bad. Let me shut up. This then your defense. I mean, look, you guys are rebuilding your defense. You got to rebuild your secondary. Janoris and guys like that. Some of these guys are getting older. So, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's talking about the Daniel Jones train. But, I mean, Cowboys have a top-notch defense. And, I'm not the biggest fan of Dak. I think he's overrated. But, Zeke is an absolute beast. Your O-line's beast. Cooper's a beast, so.
Yeah, but look, the secondary, yes, shambles in the chat. The secondary was just terrible.
Yeah, you guys let a touchdown.
Like, oh my God.
The same play. They ran basically the same play with a guy going up the middle, run up the middle. I think he had like a cover two, basically two safeties high, and I think it was Witten one, and then I can't remember who had the other touchdown. It was basically the same play. Like, I was like, man, that's not good. But look, I can't talk trash. My Jets, I don't want to talk about it. And then we got to play Baker Mayfield and his big stupid mouth next week. So I don't even want to talk right now, man. Let's get to this Frank Ntilikina and Derrick Rose. And
yeah, we'll get to that. It was bad. I will say this though. I will say this, right? in my league, I did very well. All right, I'm in a league called All Washed Up. We've been playing for about 5 years. I've won the Super Bowl twice. Okay, I won the Super Bowl twice, and my first game yesterday scored 205 points. Carson Wentz went crazy, scored 81 points for me.
Damn.
So I'm good.
Damn.
I'm good with that. At least I'm good with that. We'll see what happens next week, but we'll take it from there. You know what I mean?
My league.
My Giants, man.
It's depressing, man. I don't want to. No, let's not tell. I'm not bad for bringing it up. I didn't want to bring it up.
We were sitting down. We just came back from a camp with my daughter. Right, she went to a basketball camp Sunday. After the camp, we stopped. We talked to the coach for a little while. Went very well. Then after we talked to the coach, we went to this little Italian restaurant where the school is, and we sat down to eat. And the Ravens game was just going off, and I was like, I wonder if they're gonna show the Giants game. Yep, they were showing the Cowboys. I was like, perfect. This is perfect. We sit down. I ordered my baked ziti because I love Italian food. I love baked ziti.
Sim loves baked ziti, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's right. I had baked ziti that night. I ordered my baked ziti and watched the Giants go down and go up 7-0, and I was on my high horse. I was feeling good. And then they ruined it all. And after I got my cheesecake, I said, let's go. Let's get out of here. It's time to rock. I was mad.
Yeah, man. For all you guys, I mean, people out there already know, but the worst feeling is when you're with friends and you guys are all drinking and you're at the bar, everyone's cheering, and you start getting like that. I'm kind of getting a headache type thing, but, I'm feeling good and my team is winning. We good. And then you start losing. And then it's like you're still drinking. And you're like, all right, this is not fun anymore. And it's just like that dread of like, oh my Lord, the alcohol is hitting you. And you're just like, oh my gosh. So that was basically my Sunday, man. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Football. I don't want to think about it, man.
But you know what? I had even a better week. I mean, still though, my weekend was great. I just bought a brand new Akai MPC X. I didn't really get a chance to,
right?
Huh?
That's for that's a beat maker, right?
Yeah. It is the creme de la creme. Let's put it like that. It is the creme de la creme. I just bought it. I did crack it open a little bit, but I didn't really get into it. I'm gonna get into it, and this is what I'm gonna make that little baby beat on. That little Haiti beat on.
Oh my Lord, yo, Sim,
Haiti baby beat.
I allowed you to forget about it just because I don't want to hear that trash, but
it's gonna be hot
again, man.
It's gonna be hot. Watch.
Oh my Lord, this guy think he Jay Dilla, bro.
Like hot. You are not Haiti. It's gonna be hot. I'm gonna take Haiti baby, and I'm gonna sample his voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sample a couple things in there. I'm gonna put it in the new MPC X.
Oh my Lord,
we're gonna make it happen. Watch, it's gonna be tough.
Oh my Lord!
And I got something special that I'm doing with it too, just for you.
I can only hope. I don't want to know. I don't know what you're trying to do special in terms of that beat for me, but
watch.
I know it's just probably gonna be terrible. Oh my gosh,
it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be dope. But let me get over here to everybody, man. Big shout out to everybody that's joining us tonight. You know what I'm saying? I know it's Monday Night Football. And you're enjoying some football, opening week for the NFL, right? But you're still here with me, so I appreciate it. So before I get to City for real, I just want to shout out to everyone that's in the chat. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm going to get everybody, but everyone that's listening, if you're listening and you're not in the live chat, big shout out to you. If you're watching it on YouTube and you're not in the live chat, shout out to you. But those in the live chat, we got Joe Curry, Christian Jones, Mike Morgan, King Ant G, Ralph Unreal, Chuck Allen, Chick George, Chen, Mosey Freeman, Ghost Rider, Slick Nick, Malaki Perrin, Joshua. I don't want to say your full name, but you got your full name in the chat, so it is what it is. Quiet Money's in the building. Jason Myers in the building. Ralph Petito. Viv is in the building. I think I said Jason Myers already. Quentin Brown. All you guys, man. Khalid, Frank White Robinson, Shambles, DJ Space Ghost. Space Ghost. Y'all remember that? I remember that. You know what I mean? And if I miss anybody, big shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for coming through. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for coming through. So let me get the city for real. Say what's up to my man.
All right.
City for real, what's popping, bro?
Yo, what's going on, Sam?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just I
ain't good.
You're not good. Why not?
I ain't good, man, because you already know. Grandma already said it, man. And I'm gonna say it again, man. Hey, our Giants, our defense was embarrassing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? On a short note, it was embarrassing. That was pathetic, man. I do honestly have to say, if they have to bring some of the greats in there, they got to get Michael Strahan with his field goal teeth in there to freaking come in there and talk to those guys and tell them, hey, back when I was playing, we prided ourselves on defense. Give a talk to those guys or something, man, because that was, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, although I don't want to quote it and I hate it, that was atrocious, bro.
Man, look, let me tell you. First of all, Mike Strahan.
Offense looked
I
good.
love Mike Strahan, you know what I'm saying? But, Mike Strahan is on his, weekday morning TV show.
Yeah.
He ain't got time for that.
But still, man, like, you know what I mean? Just to get rid of that, though. Otherwise, though, I'm good. Otherwise, I'm good, man. I'm still optimistic about our boys. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping we do something. I can't even say do something great. I want to say I'm hoping we surprise some people.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Course.
I'm hoping we surprise some people.
Of course. Yeah. Well, let me get around and introduce everybody, man, and then we're gonna get back. And right now we got like 4 of you guys in the chat, so I might have everybody unmuted so we can have a good conversation, just as long as we all taking turns. We're not talking over each other. You know what I'm saying? As we talk about Frank Ntilikina going up against Team USA. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and get to Johnny C. All right, new to the chat. Johnny C, what's popping, brother?
You can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, my man.
Yeah, man. What's going on, man? I'm usually in the chat, but today I decided to jump on video.
Okay. No, that's good. That's what's up, man. I'm glad. We glad you're here. It's always nice to have fresh blood in the chat. Now, this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes we get some fresh blood in the chat, and they never come back because these guys in the chat can be brutal sometimes. So as long as you got thick skin, it doesn't always get on air. You know what I mean? It doesn't always get on air, but behind the scenes, when nobody else can hear, these guys can be brutal. So
now you know what it is. Like, you guys usually go late, so I can only jump in the chat, but it's early enough for me to jump on video.
All right,
for once.
That's what's up, man. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Well, let me get over here to Andrew. You know what I'm saying, Mr. P Diddy, and then we're gonna get around. We're gonna open up this Frank Ntilikina talk. All right. All right. And my man Andrew, what's good, man? What's popping?
I was good, brother. Just thanks for having me on your show.
Chilling, man. Thank
That's
you.
all.
Thank you. I appreciate the shout out that you did on your video.
Good. It was nothing, man. I do that all the time for people. You know what I mean? I definitely like it. I definitely like your platform, man. Like I check your platform out, I check others, and from me watching yours, I seen that like how you had the whole video chat thing set up is pretty dope, man. I really enjoy it. That's why I said if you were to talk more about like, if you were to do like an episode for the Giants, you maybe do like baseball, man, you would probably be one of the biggest platforms on YouTube, I think.
I thought about it. You know what I'm saying? I really did. I thought about it. I'm not as big into baseball. You know what I mean? So I'd have to have some people carry me on that subject. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I need some people that really, can get into baseball to carry me. But I have thought about, just kind of covering all of New York sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your platform would be dope.
Yeah, you know, I thought about it. I've thought about it, and it's something that I would still consider, especially in the off season of the Knicks. But the name of the channel,
I was gonna say that.
You know what I'm saying? The name of the channel is nothing but Knicks. So you'd probably get some people who are like, I just want to hear about the Knicks. But you know, we'll see what's up. It's something I consider doing. I did.
You could probably do a nothing but Giants channel. You probably could do that.
Yeah.
Or you can even do I know you into hip hop as well. You could probably do even a hip hop kind of like.
Well, we do. I do. I have. It's called the Front Stoop.
The Front Stoop. All right.
It's called the Front Stoop.
So I'm gonna subscribe to that.
Video in a while. The last video that we did was we did a live review of Nas's Lost Tapes 2. That was the last video.
All right.
That was the last video. The video did pretty good. And I mean, it went on for like 3 hours, a long video. But another one is due. Lots been going on in hip hop. We got a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang series came out. By the way, I think it's a little bit corny.
Well, I haven't checked it.
I think the acting to me is over the top. I feel like the acting is just over the top. They're doing too much. They're doing too much to try to be the character instead of just letting it flow naturally. You know what I'm saying? And then you got guys that's not from New York and they're trying to make them sound like they're from New York and it sounds fake. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I hate when that happens. You know, it's a little bit, you know, whatever. You know, Ghostface though is coming out with an album. Actually, if you go to his website, you can already buy the album, but this Friday it drops on like Spotify, iTunes, and all that. It's called Ghostface Killers. So there's a lot to talk about in hip hop. You know what I mean? So we definitely got that one.
Yo, have you ever thought about doing an album like versus album? Like, you know how you did Lost Tapes 2? You can compare that to Lost Tapes 1. Which one you think is better?
You know what? You know, when we did the review, we kind of talked about that a little bit. It was in there, but that's a good idea. It's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
But it's about time we get to a new, you know, get back to doing these Front Stoop things. It's just my summer was so crazy. You know what I mean? It was summer. You know, just a wild summer, a lot of traveling and stuff like that. But anyway,
I know. Yeah.
Let me get this person in, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk Frank Ntilikina. I know some people probably like, come on, man. You know what you waiting for? You know what I mean? You talking too much. Nobody want to hear all this. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. It's all good though. We got Mark that just joined us. Kareem just joined us. You know what I'm saying? So let me get to Mark. Mark, what's good, man? What's cooking?
What's cracking?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. You know, we're just getting everybody introduced.
Listen, man. I'm gonna say this, just as people. The information that I've been getting over the weeks and the way the society we live in, bro, we're not free, man.
What are you getting into, man? Hold on.
No,
Say that for the front stoop,
honestly,
bro.
Listen. No. I'm not even joking right now. This is like some real life, like life-altering shit that I got into a couple of weeks back. All I'm gonna say, bro, we're not free, man. As much as, you know, we're able to move around.
Well, let's say that for another time, man. Say that for another time. Sound like you need, you know, you say that for another time. You know what I mean?
It's just
now.
But anyway, what up, man? What up, chat? What up, Sam, man? Let's get it on tonight. What's the topic?
Let's do it. Let me say what's up to Kareem because I haven't seen him in a minute, and then we're gonna go ahead and open up this. You know, we're gonna get this going. My man Kareem, you there? Nah, I think he left us for a minute. Oh, I don't know. I think he left us for a minute. Anyway, all right, we're gonna get talking. We're gonna get going. Mark, I'm back to you, Mark.
Okay. What's up?
All right. Wednesday morning. Frank Ntilikina and France gonna play Team USA. Give me your thoughts.
Listen, that France team gonna give USA work because guess what? USA ain't winning games like they winning the games crawling out. Besides today, but France is stacked with NBA players. I just think, listen, France has a chance and the USA has a chance. And I think I kind of want France to win more than the USA, to tell you the truth.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because I want to see Frank play more games and get more experience.
Listen. We will probably catch some flack, but I want France to win too. You know why? Because all I kept hearing all summer long, or the last few weeks, all I keep hearing is that, Frank Ntilikina, whatever he does well or doesn't do well, he scored his 12 points against Jordan. Or but when he played against this team, he only scored 2 points. Yeah. I want to see them win. And if he scores 5 points, you know what I'm saying? If he scores 10 points, then it's like, okay, you know what? But he did it against Team USA. All this talk that he's not playing against NBA competition. And if they can beat Team USA, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm being honest with you. But it's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be a competitive game. You know what I mean? I think it'll be competitive and USA will probably eke out the win, but that's what I want to happen. I'm not even going to lie. I want him to perform well and France wins.
Because
just for the sake of Frank. Really.
I watched this game. I watched this game today. All I see is confidence coming from him when he takes shots. Mm-hmm. From when he's directing the pace of the game. I just see pure confidence, and that is the most liberated thing I could see coming from him, because again, he was lacking a lot of that playing in the NBA. But what I'm seeing from him, he's commanding the game more than just being in the game. He's commanding it, man, and it's just beautiful to watch him play. And I just want to see him keep winning games, just for my Knicks development purposes, so he can come in this season and really, really establish himself on the scene, because his IQ, his defensive ability, I can't have that go to another team, because you don't find players like that that's willing to do these things willingly instead of being taught. These things he is doing with instinct. His instinct is just it's a pleasure to watch, and his ball handling got better. His direction of getting to the rim got better. It's just his whole pure aggressiveness. The whole way he approached the game. He knows he has to be successful. And then when they're passing the ball, like when they play him off guard from time to time and they spot him up in the corners, he's not hesitating. He's taking the shot which is given to him. He's not pump faking. He's taking the three. So I love to see that from him. Just watching him is just his confidence more than anything. And I tell people, don't look for him to score 20 a night. Just look at him, at what he does on the floor, the impact that he brings on the floor. And then you would appreciate him more than what you want him to be. Worry about what he can contribute and what he can add to a team that is good. And that's the type of player he is. And I've been telling y'all from day one. Don't look for him to be the next scoring point guard. That's not what he does. That's what he wasn't drafted for. That's not what he did in FIBA basketball before he got drafted. He's an all-purpose type of player. And people in the chat, if Knicks fans can understand that, then you can understand how people that stands behind them have so much faith in him, because of the things that how he can impact games when you have a good team around him and know what they're doing. So, that's my piece about that. I just want to see Frank play more games. Right. I kind of want them to win the whole thing personally.
Okay. All right. I'd love to see him win the whole thing.
F the USA, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say
Donald Trump is in power.
But, because Frank plays for the Knicks, I'd like to see them, go as deep as they can go as far as they can go. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back. I want them to win the whole thing. The whole thing.
I'm going to come back up here to Guillermo, because I have a question for you, Guillermo. My question is this, and I love the Nothing But Knicks shirt too. Yeah. But my question is this. If Frank plays well, whether or not they win, in your opinion, if Frank plays well against Team USA, how much will it help him to improve his confidence coming back to the Knicks?
Well, I mean, look, again, I like I said, I used to be called a Frank lover, apologist for him. So anything that Frank does as good, I like it. But I want the thing about it is that we don't know. Look, NBA game and FIBA game are two different things. When you're playing in the comfort of your country, you're playing with your countrymen and guys who've made in the league who are doing well, like Rudy Gobert, who's like defensive player of the year. I think, was he last? Or a defensive piece. I don't know if he's defensive player of the year. Don't quote me on that. You know what I mean? It's a different feel than the NBA when you're in America, when you're still, and look, I know he's been here for a few years, but it's still foreign to him. It's a different culture. The way the guys people operate, things are just a little bit different. Like I said, I mean, I remember guys like Rudy Fernandez on Spain killing it, and in the NBA, it never translated. So I want it to translate badly. Now, confidence. Now, if Frank, the thing about when I watch his highlights, right, he's aggressive going to the hoop, which is good. I saw a nice little floater today on Australia, and even his missed shots, the driving to the layup and the floaters. It's like when you look at it, it's not even as timid as what he was when he first started in FIBA this year. It's smart plays. It's like, all right, I don't have any other option but to float it. Like, I can't lay it up because the guy's going to block it. Let me float it before he gets a hand. And these are smart plays. He's shooting threes here and there. I wish, to convince me, he'd have to probably average like 3-4 threes a game, but obviously that's not his game. Just to see it translate to the NBA, because usually when you see guys starting to take more and more threes, if it goes up from like, say, 0.5 to like 2 or 3 a game, and it's like, all right, this guy's starting to, feel a little bit, he's forcing the issue, stuff like that. So I hope it translates. We don't know. Again, FIBA is just a different animal, a different beast. I remember the kid from Puerto Rico. What the hell's this guy's name? The one who crossed over Kobe in the FIBA games. And it's like, his game never translated. You know what I mean? So I want it to happen. But again, the way Frank is playing right now with FIBA, he's playing the traditional point guard role, right? With the way it's set up right now, the Knicks, he has to blow Fizzle out the water, right? He has to come in and overwhelm DSJ, overwhelm Peyton, and even overwhelm the idea that RJ Barrett could be the point guard at that position. He has to come in and do a ridiculously good job. And I agree. I've said this all the time. Having a good game is not putting up 30-some points or doing a triple-double like Russell Westbrook, because those are empty stats, right? What Russell Westbrook is doing. When you look at a guy like Frank Ntilikina, it's all about facilitation, move the ball. Like today, you saw him nod his head for the pick and roll, like forcing, telling the guy basically come over here with his head. And it's like, hey, let's start the process, stuff like that. Now, if he has control, direction of direction of Fizdale's offense, especially in the preseason, then maybe. But it's just so hard because he's doing it from a point guard position. That's why I said, if he can show me more shooting, maybe you could play him as an off guard. Maybe you could have him come in as like a shooting guard off the bench who's playing heavy minutes with a point guard like Trier who's looking to score. So it's kind of like the inverse, right? It's like a combo guard playing a point guard, but a point guard playing the shooting guard, a 2-guard role. And Frank can play 20-something, maybe possibly 30 minutes a night. And then maybe if he can be a true facilitator and he fits Fizdale's offense a lot more, then you put him in a start position. But as a point guard position, Asim, I don't know. I hope it translates. I hope.
Yeah.
But
I'm just hoping that if he can come in and play well, it'll give him a confidence boost. The only thing in kind of like what you're saying is, if it does give him a confidence boost, he's getting the confidence boost doing it, playing the style of basketball that he grew up playing, not playing the style of basketball that he's probably going to have to play when he gets into the NBA. But we'll see if, listen, I was reading some things earlier today that Steve Mills is, watching the games. He's in contact with Frank Ntilikina, so that may go against some of the things that people have been, all of us, have been saying about, the Knicks not really.
I know you want to say me, Sim. Don't try to say.
I'm not saying you. You didn't even let me get out what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, we're all of us saying that the Knicks don't like or want. Everyone's been kind of saying the Knicks don't want Frank Ntilikina, don't like Frank Ntilikina because Steve Mills, Scott Perry. Well, Steve Mills was there, but Scott Perry is not his guy. Right. Now it is Steve Mills that was in contact with him. I didn't hear or see anything about Scott Perry. I don't know, but I'm hoping he does well. I'm hoping he does really well.
I'm hoping too, man.
And he can start proving to people that he can be a legitimate point guard in the NBA. And hopefully point guard, or I don't care, point guard, shooting guard, small forward. But he's going to be a facilitator at any one of those positions. It's just in his nature. You know what I mean?
Hey, Sim, just one more thing before we go into the next person, and I'll say this about Frank. I do agree that, look, if he does well against Team USA, this is not the strongest Team USA, but if he does well against this team, I hope in his head he keeps that going into, because you'll never face an NBA team. KD's no longer going to Golden State. You'll never face an NBA team that's as stacked as this Team USA team. So take that for what it is, Frank. Like, you got to be – I don't even care if you're missing shot. Be confident, because it's going to fall in, man. Like, it's not like you have a disgustingly awful, terrible-looking game. You can, if you do well against these guys, you can translate that over to the NBA. It's get it out your head that you can. So,
yeah. And the Knicks. Frank Ntilikina plays against Team USA. France versus Team USA this Wednesday, 7 a.m. I'll be getting up early so I can watch it. I'm gonna get up early. I probably won't go to sleep until 3, but I'll still get up early and I'll watch the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch the game. And maybe right after I'll jump on and talk a little bit about the game. I'm trying to think what my schedule is like on Wednesday throughout the day. I don't know. But anyway, 7 o'clock, France, Team USA. It's live. ESPN Plus. That's where you can catch it. If you don't have ESPN Plus, $4.99. Pay $4.99 and get a month's subscription, and you can watch the rest of the FIBA games. All right. Let me get back around to everybody. Most people are probably just gonna find a stream somewhere. I'm just trying to tell you the right way to do it, especially if you want to watch it clear. You know what I mean? But I know what most people are gonna do. P. Diddy, Andrew.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
What's your take, man? Just a quick take on it with Frank Ntilikina going up against Team USA.
Well, I look at it like, if he has a very good game against them, I think that's going to really boost his confidence, and it's going to help translate to his game, going forward this upcoming season. I've seen some highlights, and one thing I liked about him is him adding the floater to his game, the teardrop. I like that his pick and roll is finally what when he sets the pick and roll, he attacked the basket. When he didn't have a lane to the basket, he drove back to the free throw line and took a jump shot. I like that. Okay, he's trying to improvise. Mm-hmm. He's not forcing things. And the open threes that he was taking, I was like, if he could knock those down, he's the player we need him to be, because then he could play off of people. And if you looked at that, the offense, they threw the ball up top to Rudy Gobert, and he ran off the screens, as well as Evan Fournier. They both ran off the screens, and I looked at that and I said, wow, like, imagine if that was Bradley Beal or Devin Booker as Evan Fournier running around the screens. He can play with these guys. So then he could play off of these guys that, because Devin Booker does have some point guard skills as well as Bradley Beal. So I said, man, I'm just envisioning that. And I'm thinking Rudy Gobert, if Mitchell Robinson can do the same thing in terms of the dribble handles at the top of the key, then that fits well with the Knicks they can do this upcoming season. So I seen some of those things he do can translate. It can translate into the Knicks offense. It just depends if David Fizdale incorporates that. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. That's the thing. If David Fizdale incorporates it, and but listen, David Fizdale is not going to. He's not going to be. He's not going to be building or designing his offense around Frank Ntilikina. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that.
But
that's very important if he do a lot of dribble handoffs from the top, because it's kind of similar with something they did in Miami when they ran horns. I don't know if most people don't remember when they their second year when LeBron played. That was probably the best he ever played basketball offensively in terms of an efficiency level. And they ran a lot of horns, and there was a lot of dribble handoffs at the top of the key. On the weak side, they would use Dwayne Wade. On the strong side, they used LeBron. And I was like, man, they could do a lot of stuff. They could run a pinch post, a lot of different things you can run from. It's basically kind of like the triangle, because the Spurs run that with Tim Duncan a lot. The high post, even a low post action. So I said, man, the Knicks could probably even do that with Julius Randle, even at the top. And that's important, because if he has the ball and then the guard feeds him the ball, and then he either dives to the middle or they come off the screen, they could run pinch posts. They could run a lot of stuff from that position. So I'm just thinking about a lot of different things they could do If Frank would fit that, if he could knock down the floater or he's aggressive going to the basket, if they rotate to him, Julius Randle has the 15-foot jump shot, or he can roll to the basket. These are a lot of different things they can do. So maybe David Fizdale, he can take that from what they did in Miami when he was with Coach Spo and those guys. But that probably can work if they run some horn action. Frank needs to be in a motion action. If you just have him stand on the perimeter, he's not effective. He has to move around. And that's why people say, he will fit with the Spurs, because that's stuff they run. So, it depends. Oh, hello? You still there?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. It depends. It depends what they go, what kind of offensive scheme they're going to run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's going to be a big question coming into this season. What is Fizdale going to do? We've talked about it. What is Fizdale going to do? Can Fizdale actually run, some resemblance of a system? Because with Frank, that's going to be.
Yeah, he's more of a system player.
It's going to be better for him.
He's not an isolation player.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be better for him to have some kind of a system. It is what it is, man. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with Frank Ntilikina. He's
But he would fit with Bradley Beal. He would fit with Bradley Beal more than I think the other guys would fit with him. I think he would fit more. But we have to see how Elfrid Payton looks. I'm quite curious about that, because Elfrid Payton's problem is he can never stay healthy.
Yeah,
that's his biggest problem. He can never stay healthy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, and look, I know some other people want to comment on Frank, and I'm going to give you a chance to comment on Frank. We are going to move forward. So just before we move forward, talk about some of these other things I know guys want to talk about. We'll take a quick look at Frank and his stats at the FIBA games or the World Cup games. All right. And then we'll move on, and we're going to talk about Derrick Rose. We're going to talk about Enes Kanter and their comments regarding the New York Knicks. I know you guys want to get into that and talk about that a little bit. But let's take a look at Frank Ntilikina's stats at FIBA up until this point, and then we can move forward from there. All right, so there you go. That's our boy, the French Prince, Frank Ntilikina. And right now, against Australia, well, right now he's averaging 7 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists per game. And I know a lot of people might look at it and say, that's whatever. But you got to look at the FIBA games. It's a little bit different. The way it's played, the points that people score is different. Even Team USA, guys aren't scoring the same, as they normally would. Frank is shooting 40.7% from the field. That includes 42.9% from three. And he's shooting 38.5% from two. But it is encouraging that he's shooting over 40% from three at the FIBA games. We'll see if it's going to be able to translate to the NBA. We'll see. Hopefully, when the FIBA games are over, Frank will come back to New York, maybe get a couple of days to rest, let his body heal a little bit. Then he can get in with the guys and start running, start working, and building that relationship with his new teammates and things like that. All right. So just to let you know, once again, France and Team USA will play on Wednesday, 7 a.m. And you can see the brackets right here. Right? You can see the brackets. USA, France play right here in this first round of the bracket. You got Argentina and Serbia. Whoever wins, they'll play each other for a chance to make it to the championship games. All right, so I'm rooting for France because it got our boy on the team. I know some people say, "Oh, you're a turncoat," whatever. I want to see Frank play. You know what I'm saying? I'm New York Knicks. I am New York Knicks before I am Team USA. Sorry, folks. You may disagree with me, but that's just how it goes. When you're a New York Knicks fan, at least when you're a New York Knicks fan, the way I'm a New York Knicks fan. You know what I mean? But let's change the subject. I want to talk about Derrick Rose right now. And some of you may say, why Derrick Rose? Most of you probably already know why Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was recently cited in an article on New York Post where he was discussing Phil Jackson and the Knicks. And he says Phil Jackson doomed the Knicks. I'm going to read a couple of excerpts from Derrick Rose. All right. And then we're going to talk about it. I want to know what you guys think. Derrick Rose. So this is an excerpt of I'll Show You. All right. It's with Derrick Rose by Sam Smith. It's from Triumph Books / Derrick Rose. So if you want to check it out, you can check that out. All right. This is Derrick Rose. He says, with basketball, the way Phil Jackson had talked, and with Joakim Noah and Carmelo Anthony, I really thought we were going to do something. But when it came to basketball, I knew right away that we were shit. Okay, so first of all, I don't know. It's already confusing to me, right? Because again, he says, with the basketball, the way Phil Jackson talked, and with Joakim Noah and Carmelo Anthony, I really thought we were going to do something. And then he turns right around and says, but when it came to the basketball, I knew right away we were shit. I don't know. So I guess maybe when they got into practice or whatever, maybe he knew right away. All right. He said, I played through it, 60-some games, but I could tell right away it wasn't the season I was expecting. A lot of different priorities. Melo's there. You know how he plays. Can't change that. That's what I realized being there. And he's a great dude. I love being around Melo. He ain't going to rub you the wrong way. Great dude, great spirit, great person, great teammate. I don't say much, but Phil could tell. Phil was telling me to be patient. He said I had a lot going on with the trial and all. He was honest with me. Everything he talked to me about, he was honest. I'll say that. Our relationship was a little weird, though. He was cool the whole time I was there, but he wanted that $60 million he was owed by the Knicks. As for me, I liked Phil. But come on, man. You're still running the triangle? He was still forcing them to run it. I'm a slasher, a driving point guard. The triangle was okay, but not for the personnel we had. Melo couldn't play that way. He didn't want to. With me leaving Chicago, I was really into the game. I really was into the game, really wanted to do something. New York with Joe and Phil and Melo and leaving Chicago, it just sounded like it was going to be special. Getting back to winning. I had high expectations and wanted to perform. I felt the spark, but we never had a flow on the offensive or defensive end. I felt like being there, we never did the extra things to win the game. Make the hustle play or make the extra pass. We played numerous games where we'd hit a point where it just fell apart. We had no right start, playing around 500 ball into December. But you could tell it was getting worse. We knew it was only a matter of time. Coming in, especially in the East, a team like that, can compete. A team with that talent. They were trying to do it for Melo. He didn't want to start over, so they wanted to get the veterans for him. But he can't play with a lot of guys. He's got to be the main guy. Supposed to be a top 5 team. You just fall into winning games with that much talent. But we were struggling to stay in it at halftime. It was frustrating. But at the same time, all of it was out of our control. Joe and I used to talk about it all the time. Phil wanted us to play a certain way, and we had to listen. What can you do? Early on in the season, Phil really didn't force anything. But as time went on, it converted all the way to the triangle, and we played through that almost a whole year. For the team we had, I think deep down, Coach Jeff Hornacek really wanted to play that more up-tempo style. But being in that position, being a new head coach, having to listen to the front office, it's just hard on that coach to say something. He's moved around. He'd been fired in Phoenix. I guess Hornacek got tired of hearing about it, having meetings about it, so he just said, we're going to do it and see. It also took a lot out of us. It's hard to go into games knowing there's a point during the game where the game slips away. You can feel it. The whole team can feel it. But that was every other night. There were times during a game where we would play free, and it didn't matter what we did. We'd end up coming back. And Phil would be like, what's that? I remember one time we beat Boston, and he told Hornacek he didn't like the way we finished the game. We ended up winning the game. Melo got kicked out the game or something like that. Something crazy. But Phil didn't like the way we finished that game. It's like, damn, in this league, you're happy to get a win. Most coaches come in and they're like, that was ugly, but we bring it in. Enjoy your night. Nothing crazy tonight. You know what I mean? Enjoy it, because it's hard to even get one win in this league. I've talked to Kobe about the triangle. You saw it with the Bulls and Michael Jordan. You can do it, and it works. But we were a new team with new players and a new coach. And because of Melo and the way he played, we needed to do something now. And you need some time with that offense. He goes on to say that he actually loved this experience in New York. It was a cool place. With the way things were the last couple of years in Chicago, he needed a break. When he left the Knicks that day in January 2017, that's what it was about. I just needed to go home. I went to the crib with my mom. Everybody came over to the house to talk. That's the first time, one of the few times, where we sat down as a whole family and had a serious discussion like that. I had decided I was done playing. I saw the same thing that was happening with the Bulls was going on with New York. I could tell that the season wasn't going to be the season everyone thought, that I thought. I didn't know if I wanted to hoop anymore, especially when it started to feel like a business. Of course, you know it's a business. They always say that, but you know it's also hooping. But it had started to feel like all business, no joy. That's when I wanted out. I wasn't having fun. The court case probably had something to do with it when I think back on it. But the love wasn't the same. I had too many distractions. Yes, a lot of that falls on myself. I didn't have to leave, but at the time, it felt like I was only going through what I was going through. My family talked me into going back. It was the family, a long conversation, a lot of crying, yelling. It was crazy. But it's good to know they were behind me. It was a mixed feeling in the room. They know me, they know I want to do what I want to do. You got one group saying that, and you got one group that's like, F that. You got to get through. You got to play the games. That's when I realized it was a game within a game. I wasn't good at playing the game. It's bullshitting. Like I said, with me growing up where and how I did and seeing everything, I tried to avoid becoming someone who did that. But the profession I was now in kind of demands it. I feel like I played great, but then had to have surgery again at the end of the season with the Knicks. By then, I had changed my way of thinking. I really was in a great place. I wanted to be a Knick. It was just, I had to have surgery again. I had to prep myself for rehab again. But I was now working with Judy Cito, this great lady who worked for the Lakers, the Dodgers, and I knew it would come out right. He goes on to say that he felt like the Knicks should have gave him a chance. He wanted to be in New York. He felt like the Knicks did him wrong. They didn't contact him after free agency. And it kind of felt wronged by the Knicks, by Scott Perry. Right? He said, Steve Mills is talking all this black dude stuff with me, like we're brothers and all this. He's saying that, making me think it's going to make us closer. Come on, be yourself. I love New York. We were losing, but I felt I was playing great. I felt like they could still have built something or attempted to. They got rid of me, but I definitely wanted to stay there. So there it is, man. There it is. I did want to say this, but the whole experience did open my eyes to a lot of things. New York, they could have given me my bird rights before getting rid of me. That or working some kind of deal where Derrick were thinking of going in another direction. We're thinking of Ntilikina, of this Ntilikina kid in France. We respect you, but we want to go in another direction. I would have respected that. Maybe something like what Sacramento did for George Hill. Keep a veteran around to help the kids get going. Sacramento paid him and knew he was going to be the backup to De'Aaron Fox. But you know what I mean? They looked out for him. New York could have done the same thing. That's the gist of it, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about that. That is Derrick Rose on his time with the New York Knicks. I don't know. Let me see. Who do I got in the chat here? I guess I'll start out with you, Andrew. Just tell me quickly what you think, and then I'm going to get around to everybody else. That's Derrick Rose spitting his piece about the New York Knicks. Go ahead, Andrew. Andrew, you hear me? Puff Daddy, Pete Diddy.
Oh, all right. My bad.
Yeah. So I was just reading about Derrick Rose and what he was saying with the Knicks, man. What do you think about it?
Now I think about Derrick Rose, what he was saying with the Knicks.
Yep. Did you read the article?
Actually, I checked maybe the caption. I didn't read the full article. I didn't really check it out. I didn't check the article. I should have checked it out, but actually I haven't done that. But me personally, I know Derrick Rose. To me, he played well with the Knicks when he was here. I was kind of shocked they didn't bring him back, and maybe they could have did something. But I remember before he was complaining about he didn't want to play the style of basketball that they're playing. In terms of the triangle, that essentially wasn't his game. You know what I mean? And if you looked at it, Derrick Rose was more of a pick and roll, semi-transition play that he predicated his game off athleticism. So he could have probably did more with the Knicks at the time. It was shocking they didn't bring him back. But I forgot who they brought back the next with Jarrett Jack. You tell me Jarrett Jack was better than Derrick Rose? It's kind of unfortunate.
I wasn't surprised that the Knicks didn't bring Derrick Rose back.
Yeah.
I felt
you wasn't surprised?
I wasn't surprised. You know what I mean? If I felt like at that point, I kind of knew that they were trying to start over and just going in a total new direction. And Derrick Rose was going to be, although he was
not in the plans.
Huh? Yeah, he was
not in the plans of what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But Jarrett Jack and Ramon Sessions, though. But Ramon Sessions and right. Jarrett Jack over Derrick Rose.
Yeah, but those were guys. But those were guys who, number one, were cheaper, right? You could get rid of at any time if you needed to, and they were also guys who weren't going to have the same kind of baggage. You know what I'm saying? That Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I understand, but if you sit down and think about it, Derrick Rose, he took the vet minimum to go to Cleveland that year.
Yeah, I get that. You know what I'm saying?
He took the vet minimum.
Derrick Rose is flighty. You know what I'm saying? And he don't want to be too far away from Chicago. Think about it. He went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right? Then Minnesota. Now Detroit. He don't want to be too far away from Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you
That's
mean.
why he left New York to go back to Chicago, that day, January 17th or whatever it is, because he wants to be home. He wants to be around. He wants to be as close to his people as possible. I don't see Derrick Rose leaving anywhere that little Midwest area around Chicago. I don't see him going too far from there.
You're absolutely right about that. But I think he rejuvenated his career. I really think so. He proved he still got a lot left.
Yeah, and that's my thing that, me and Guillermo was kind of having a conversation. I know Guillermo is probably going to touch on it. The Knicks kind of gave him a chance to rejuvenate himself a little bit. He averaged 18 points in whatever he did. He shot very well from the field for the Knicks, I believe. 40%, something like that. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say he played horrible for the Knicks because he didn't. And his mid-range was wet.
Yeah.
His mid-range, he boop, boop, pull it up, bang, knock it down. I just think the Knicks wanted to go in a different direction. Scrub everything away. And, I mean, I wish he would have showed, just a little bit more respect. I know maybe he was a little bit hurt or whatever that the organization didn't bring him back. But they did give him a chance. They did give him a chance to revive himself a little bit. You know, I don't know what to think about Derrick Rose, man. I don't know. What
I mean, I'm a huge fan of his actually, man. Like, man, like I'm a huge fan of Derrick Rose. I was hoping he would have stayed with the Knicks one more season, and and see what he could have developed into. I was hoping one more season he would have got. You know what I mean? Because I was confused about that. I was like, Jared Jack over Derrick Rose. I was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, Ramon Sessions. I'm like, this is kidding me. Like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, what is the Knicks doing? You know what I mean? They should have definitely brought him back. You know what I mean? And also that year they had a chance to sign Eric Gordon over, I think, Courtney Lee. And you see how that turned out. Look how Eric Gordon is playing with the Houston Rockets.
Yeah. Because
Eric Gordon and Derrick Rose, they was college teammates at Memphis.
Right.
So the Knicks should have definitely went that direction. Maybe things would have been a lot different if they did that, man.
And I think
it'd probably been a lot different.
I don't know what. I don't remember exactly what happened then. I think I believe that Eric Gordon was on. He was on the plate. He was there, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the money or what.
I think it was the money. I think Courtney Lee was a tad bit cheaper.
Yeah. It
was a tad bit cheaper. I'd have gave Eric Gordon the money though, because think about it. Knicks had a prime opportunity at that particular moment. They could have signed Eric Gordon, and instead of giving that money to Joakim Noah, they could have went after somebody else that proved he had worth in the league. You know what I mean? They could have had it. They could. That was supposed to be the year Carmelo should have done something, because they had rookie KP. Or was it rookie? Yeah, they had a rookie KP.
He wasn't a rookie. I think he was in his second.
He wasn't a rookie? He was in his second year?
He was in his second year, because one of the reasons why they thought that they could bring in a Derrick Rose and a Joakim Noah is because KP was a little bit more advanced than they thought he was going to be.
Yeah. No, they should have kept Lopez. I think they should have kept Robin Lopez.
I definitely agree there.
Yeah, they should have kept him, and they should have brought in Eric Gordon, and they probably would have had enough money to bring somebody else. That was a key pivotal year for Carmelo, because he could have had the shooters around him, he could have had the playmaker around him, and they probably could have had the depth that year, because all the talent they brought in, it just didn't work. They had the money that year to bring in some talent, and the talent it wasn't a perfect fit. You know what I mean?
And
it wasn't, because Phil Jackson was more focused on triangle. That's why he wanted Courtney Lee, and he wanted Joakim Noah, because he was thinking about how can guys fit in the triangle. Kylo Quinn was a good pickup though. Kylo Quinn was actually good.
But Joakim Noah was supposed to be a key guy in that triangle, because he was supposed to be the guy, the big man that could get the ball at the top of the key and kind of facilitate some stuff on the top of the key like he used to do in Chicago, because Tom Thibodeau used to run a lot of triangle stuff in Chicago. You know what I mean? If you go back and you look, they ran a lot of triangle type of stuff.
You know what
I mean? And Joakim Noah was supposed to be able to facilitate some of those things, but then of course Joakim Noah had his issues.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what ruined it for Melo. I know a lot of people give Melo, slack, like, oh, he didn't keep himself in good shape, he was overweight, but that was the time for Melo to really, like, he had. And also the other thing that Phil Jackson ruined, when he gave up Amon Shumpert and J.R. Smith for second-round draft picks, not even first-round draft picks. So I think that's what kind of like messed things up for Melo. And damn, it was too many missed opportunities, man. It was too many missed opportunities at that particular moment in time.
Yeah. Well, let me see what I know. Guillermo has a lot to say right now. You know what I'm saying? I know he's got some things he wants to get off his chest. Go ahead, Guillermo, man.
It's about the D Rose, right?
About D Rose.
So I'll say this real quick, man. I agree with what Ken has said. Even though Ken is a bum, Ken is right with regards to our ownership, and I think that Dolan is starting to see that. That's why he has to be patient with this Perry and the Scott Perry and Fizdale regime. So I agree with him, right? And he actually was. I think he actually gave the Knicks some plays. Like he didn't really try to go crazy about the Knicks. Just hey, like he said, some players just don't like the ownership. He said I had a good time in New York, blah blah. He was respectful for the most part. Derrick Rose. Now, Derrick Rose is. This is why I don't like Derrick. This is why I'm not liking Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, bro, you had 2 gruesome knee injuries, right? You were crying. You were emotional, like a little biatch. You were basically on your last, whatever you want to call it, because it ain't like anybody was looking for you, right? Now, the Knicks were flawed at the time. Phil Jackson, you can say whatever you want, right? But Phil Jackson and Dolan gave you a chance to continue your career. Now, did you put up great numbers? No, but it showed that you could still play at a high level. And we gave you that, regardless of what was happening, because let's also be honest. It wasn't like you saved the Knicks. It wasn't like we went to the playoffs and then you left as like, oh, I can't do no more. You didn't do anything really for the Knicks in terms of getting us to the playoffs. Your three-point shot was ugly. I just don't understand how you can sit there and ish on somebody who gave you a chance. I don't know how you can ish on a team or an organization that gave you a chance. And first of all, you want to talk about the Knicks. Why don't you go back at Shaq, Charles Barkley, that whole TNT crew that was making Simba memes and stuff for you and laughing on your pain and your misery. I thought y'all all a brotherhood. Y'all supposed to be all friends, whatever. But they were laughing at your career. They're laughing at your livelihood, which is essentially done. They had you on, what was it? You had yourself, I guess. You're an idiot, crying like a little herb because you got traded. And other people looking at you like, yeah, what's wrong with this dude? That's why people look at you. And you you didn't even come to a game. People want to talk about KBP being unprofessional. I get that, and I agree with that. But, bro, you didn't even tell anybody that you weren't coming to a game, son. Like, it's one thing to have mental issues. I've never one to joke about somebody having mental issues and that stuff. But when you have mental issues and you know you have mental issues, don't sit here and try to come to the table and try to throw stones when you live in a glass house, bro. Because that you just throw all the rules out. Like, you can't be the one that you are, say you have muscular dystrophy and you're making somebody else who's mentally incapable. Like, you can't be that guy doing that, because the people look at you like, yo, bro, look at you. Like, and I'm not saying that's cool to do it, but you're a hypocrite. Like, come on, son. And now that your career's back now, I think he's on Detroit or whatever. Good for you. Now you want to sit here and ish on the Knicks. Why don't you ish on the rest of the league that was making memes off of you, laughing at your pain when you didn't have no knees? There was a Simba meme of Simba resting on your seemingly dead body, is just you on the floor, when you were on the court because you couldn't move because you blew out both your knees. And I was a Derrick Rose supporter because I don't think it's cool to mess with any athlete's career and call them a bust or call them this, because they go through injuries they can't control. They're not taking drugs. They're not recluse. They're not crazy. Like, bruh, and you go after the Knicks. Why? Because some BS idiot publisher said, oh, this would be good for you to talk ish about the Knicks. It's getting boring, guys. And I said this before about the Knicks. Look, James Dolan has made a lot of mistakes. I'm not the biggest James Dolan fan or whatever, any of that crap, right? James Dolan has given a lot of opportunities to a lot of black people. And I'm not talking about players, because obviously the league is like 90-some% black. You have to give it an opportunity. The first white team that I've seen in this NBA be amazing that does anything, in this current time. But James Dolan's given jobs to Isaiah Thomas. He gave a job to Herb Williams, who didn't do anything. He gave a job to that Cheney guy that always had the ugly suits and never shaved. I can't remember. I think it was Don Cheney. He gave a job to Scott Perry, who people can say, oh, he was at the Kings and he did nothing, even though that's not the proper context to see him in. You'll say, oh, he gave a job to Fizdale, who basically got ran out of the Grizzlies. And you know how it's an old boys club where people talk, and don't give you a job again, right? He could have said, nah, I ain't taking a chance on that. I need another established name. And he's giving a chance for these guys to rock and do their thing, right? But all these wokey wokes that want to, oh, the Knicks suck. Look at the teams they support. And you look at a lot of teams they support, and black coaches can't get a job. Black coaches can't even get into the front offices. What's this guy's name? Mark Jackson, who had what? He's the one that helped build that foundation with the Warriors. He can't get a job now. But at least he was. I don't know if Dolan was considering him. But people would never look at the Knicks as, oh, he's giving opportunities to a lot of black guys in the league in terms of execs, in terms of Allen Houston's an ambassador working with the Westchester Knicks. He employs a lot of guys. Like, bro, come on. Latrell Spiro's back after all the stuff Latrell Spiro's doing to him. And that's their own relationship. But people want to ish on Dolan, bro. You cannot be the guy to ish on somebody who gave you a chance, bro. That's like you being a crackhead, and then your man's is helping you clean up, but your man does a little dirt here and there on the side. He's not that great of a person, but he never did you wrong. And then when you get clean, you go to other people talking about, yeah, he ain't shit. He ain't about nothing. But he's the one that helped clean you up, bro. Shut your mouth, Derrick Rose. You cry. You overly sensitive. Cry, baby. Just be happy that God bless you to have your knees back, and you could play again, man. be on your humble, because you can have this stuff all disappear again from you at any time. And I bet you, if you want to come back and be an analyst for MSG, it probably be Dolan that probably would have been the one to help you out. Because Wally Zerbiak is an analyst for the Knicks, and he spent his better years with the Timberwolves. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people come back to the Knicks and be analysts and all that stuff, but they didn't have that great of careers with the Knicks, or they had nothing to do with the Knicks, and Dolan's the one giving them jobs. So all the people that want to get on Dolan, yes, he's made some awful decisions, but one, he spends money. I'll give him that, because I have a lot of owners of teams, of my favorite teams, they don't spend nothing. And two, he's giving a lot of jobs to a lot of black people. They can say, other so-called woke teams wouldn't have given the job, but Dolan gave him the job. So watch him out, Derrick Rose. I know you got a book, but come on, bro. Like, watch your effing mouth, son. Like, you didn't even come to the game.
You know what?
You're reckless. Come on, bro. You're a weirdo. You're absolute weirdo, son. The rest of the league looks at you a weirdo. You cried over a 40-point game on a team that was going nowhere, and we all clapping for you, but people clapping for you because you're a weirdo, bro. Because people probably scared that you're really going to take your life or do something drastic because you're a weirdo. Like, watch your mouth about the Knicks, man. It's corny.
I certainly hope he don't. Listen, I mean,
weirdo.
Like what you say about him, something about him makes me feel like he would be one of those guys that would end up, if it got too much for him, do something to himself. That scares me about Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, Sim, 1,000%. I feel sorry for people like that. Like, on my heart of hearts, I know people are taking their lives. It's not a funny thing, but bro, if you know you have that issue, don't go talking ish about other people, bro, because people are gonna look at, bro, if you want to think about that, Sim, James Dolan, you can argue and say James Dolan was the one that helped his career continue. Come on, Sim. Like, bro,
you're right.
Why would you do that? If you live in a glass house, don't throw rocks. What if 50 Cent said? He said, if you live in a glass house, whatever, because if you do, I'm gonna rock your mouth. Like, I forgot how it goes, but glass house. If you're in a glass house, whatever. Like, come on, son.
The one thing that I want to say,
it's a cornball, man.
I just hope that Derrick Rose never becomes an NBA commentator or analyst. It would not work. I can tell you that right now. It will not work.
He doesn't look people in the eye when he talks. Like, my mom said, yo, Craig, because I went to a white high school, and she was joking, hey, James, I don't want you to get in any trouble with no crazy people. Just be careful of people that don't look you in the eye. Derrick Rose doesn't look people in the eye when he talks, man. And we still gave him a chance, son. Like, yo, what's wrong with this dude, man? You didn't come to a game. Yeah, you get paid for games. You didn't come to a game.
The only thing I'm going to say about that, about looking you in the eye, right, is, and I'm going to just say this from experience, when you come from a certain situation, even till today, right, when I walk down the street, I look down at the sidewalk.
Me too.
It is a habit from me growing up, because where I grew up, if I looked at somebody, there might be a problem, and it was just like that. So when I walk, I usually walk down and I look at my feet. You know what I'm saying? Look down the sidewalk. I'll look up, and look around, but I spend a lot of time looking down. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. You know what? Let me correct that.
But some people that come from certain places, you know what I'm saying, it might be a little bit intimidating to look at somebody in the eye.
I agree with you, Sid.
Some of that comes,
It's not just him not looking in the eye. When he talks, it's like he's almost talking into an abyss, right? He reminds me of one of those dudes from Mindhunters, which is one of my favorite shows on Netflix. It's about this team of police officers or these detectives who use serial killers to catch other serial killers. I'm not saying he's a serial killer. I'm not going that far. But the dude is not well. This is why I don't like him. This is an age where people are starting to find out more and more about their mental issues, which I think is very healthy. There are a lot of mentors, especially in the Black community, where we overlook it and say, he's all right, blah, blah. No. If you need help, go get help. Go talk to somebody, blah, 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 right? I find it hard to imagine, even with Phil Jackson and all the turmoil that was going, like this. Did you hear what he said? He said, as soon as what's the name, I got there, I knew everything was gonna go wrong that season. It's like, bruh, first of all, you shouldn't be worrying about whether a season's good. You should be worrying about whether your mental health is healthy enough for you to continue playing. Because you were not well. You had those injuries. They pushed you. You pushed yourself to come back too early and hurt yourself again. The league wrote you off. People in the team wrote you off. Why don't you go? This is about Derrick Rose, huh? It's like you tell Derrick Rose is, excuse my language, but he's bitch made, right? Why don't you go after Jimmy Butler when he said that when he implied that you weren't a leader on a team that you made hot again? Why don't you go after Shaq and fat ass Charles Barkley, who was shitting on you? Why don't you go after the rest of the people in the league that were liking memes on Twitter and Instagram at your pain? But you go after the guy who gave you a chance, bro. I don't understand.
But you know,
loyalty is big to me. You got to be loyal to the guy who gave you a helping hand, man.
All right. Nah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And, you know, maybe in the rest of the book, maybe he does. Who knows? City. What do you think? What do you think about it, man? Derrick Rose. I don't know if you read it or not, or if you heard when I was reading it. What do you think? City, for real, you there? City?
Yo.
Yeah. What do you think, man? The Derrick Rose thing, man.
Yo.
Yeah, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I can hear you.
Yeah. What do you think about Derrick Rose comments?
Sam, it's for me it's kind of bad, like, you know what I mean, just because it's hard to say, but I do want to say this though. I think, like, you know, I think about this. I say, if you had a problem with, you know, with all of the Phil wanting to run the triangle and you didn't want to be a part of that or whatever, ask for a trade, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. Like, you know what I mean? Just ask for a trade, or, like, you know what I mean? Go to the front office and say, hey, I don't really think, like, you know, that I want to be a part of this, and, you know, leave it at that and get yourself out of the situation.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. But, like, you know what I mean? Don't play on the team for as long as you did, and then, like, you know what I mean, come back and backburn us and say, hey, like, you know, because that's what I feel like he's doing. Although he might not be doing that, but that's just the way I feel. Maybe I'm overprotective of the Knicks, but like, you know what I mean? That's how I feel. So it's like, I feel like this: if you didn't want any parts of the triangle, or you didn't want to run that offense, you didn't want to be a part of that type of style of play, then ask for a trade. It's just that simple, quick, easy. Go to the front office and say, hey, I'm not with this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be a part of that. And then that's it. And then you'll be out the door. And then we won't have the situation that we just had.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's easy enough, but I just want to take the easy route and
I feel you. I feel what you're saying. You know, obviously he's doing it for a book, so and you know, he's getting us now, you know, selling the book for him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take one more on this subject and then we'll move on. I'm gonna come to Mark. I want to hear what Mark got to say about it. Right? So somebody let Mark know that I'm getting ready to come to him. But before I get to Mark, I just want to say to you, please subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. All right, hit me with a thumbs up. You know, we got 230 people in the chat. I'd like to have 230 thumbs up if you can. All right, hit me with a thumbs up, share it out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you can. All right, we're going to continue to talk about, well, I'm going to get Mark's, I'm going to hear what Mark has to say about it. And then, you know, we're going to move on and we'll look at Enes Kanter's comments. And then, you know, we'll take it from there. All right, Mark, I'm coming to you, my man. Real quick, Mark. Derrick Rose in his comments.
Yo. Okay, this is how I take it. This is how I take it with every stranger when it comes to the Knicks, or even players, ex-players, etc. What us as fans, as Knicks fans, we gotta understand, it's cool to thrash the Knicks because, again, we've been mediocre for 20 years. So, again, when you bring up the Knicks in media, what's the first thing that people are gonna do? They're gonna laugh. They're gonna attack Dolan. They're gonna talk about how suck we are. So listen, Derrick Rose can say whatever he wants. Canty can say whatever he wants. It's just a way to make themselves look better at the end of the day. So I take it as, guess what? It's cool to clown the Knicks when you're not a Knicks fan, basically. That's how I take it. Because that's how it is. Because if you talk to a stranger that's not a Knicks fan, what's the first reaction they're going to do? Y'all suck. And then you're going to talk about your past. So no one ever has anything good to say about the Knicks. I understand that from watching them for the last 20 years. But then again, it's just a way to just get a giggle out of the team, basically. So listen, I don't want to listen to ex-players, honestly, to tell you the truth. I just don't want to listen because, again, they're all fickle, they're all fragile, and and most of them don't know how to be themselves. So why am I listening to people that don't know how to be themselves? It's just I don't
Okay,
worry about that.
So this is what Cantor said, right? Cantor is Cantor. Honestly, though, what he said maybe has some truth to it. He said, not many people know that, but players talk. From different teams, they talk. Cantor said on a podcast that he was on. I'm not blaming anybody. I had an amazing time with the Knicks, but other teammates I talked to, or if they're on different teams, they always said, amazing city, MSG is amazing. Everything is so good, but the ownership. They always keep saying, but the ownership.
Sim, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
If all those players, right, these anonymous players that he talks to, another thing, when you're giving out information, you're supposed to have valuable, valid, quotes from people. Me just saying, when me and this player, who, it could be from anybody. I don't know who he's talking about. I don't know what ex-play he's talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, that's true. That's true. But I mean, most players are not going to. They're not going to say somebody's name.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You don't think Carmelo have the ability to just thrash it if he really wanted to, or Tyson Chandler? Because if you really want to know about the organization, go talk to Tyson Chandler and how James Dolan treat his players in that plays for the Knicks. If you go read up on what James Dolan did for Tyson Chandler, understand who James Dolan is as a person. I understand he's not basketball savvy. Okay, a lot of it is being thrust into that situation, putting people not having the knowledge of those people if they can run his company. That's where it all stems from. So again, when you keep repeatedly doing something, and again, he's trying to change it now for the first time in 20 years, they're trying to do it the right way. All those other ways was just unbalanced because again, James Dolan's not a basketball guy. He's a businessman. A lot of these teams have basketball guys that own it or want to really be part of it. Or what? Even look at the guy for the Clippers. He's not a basketball. He likes the sport. But guess what? He puts people in there that know their stuff and allow them to run the show. Again, Dolan just hired people in the beginning that didn't know how to run a basketball organization. Remember Isaiah Thomas? He didn't know how to run a whole team. We experienced for that. He was a player. He was not a general manager. He wasn't playing with figures and salaries. So again, it all stems from past. So when these players talk about the Knicks, what they could talk about is the losing. Talk about the losing, yeah, we sucked. But why don't people ever say James Dolan's name if they're going to trash the Knicks? Just say his name because everyone trashes James Dolan. So you just be another person to trash James Dolan, it won't be affected. Because what James Dolan's going to do to you? You're not on the Knicks no more. That's my logic of it.
Okay.
So when I hear players say, we players talk, give me the person that played for New York and that talked to you. Because again, if you want to know how the Knicks organization treat players, just go talk to Tyson Chandler. And then you will respect James Dolan a little more. Okay. Just understand that James Dolan's not a basketball mind guy and he just hired the wrong people in the past. Yeah. And the past.
I think James Dolan gets the rep not just because he doesn't know basketball and the Knicks are bad. A lot of it has to do with just some of the things that he's done. I mean, obviously you can point to the Oakley thing and what happened to the fan just recently where, he kicked him out the Garden. And actually, to tell you the truth, though, I'm going to be honest, and I said it back then. If I owned an establishment and someone came into my establishment and told me, basically telling me you're garbage, sell your store, I'd kick him out too. I ain't gonna lie, I'd kick him out too. Like, well, why are you coming to my store if you think it's garbage? Get out.
Get out.
I would do that too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame him for that.
You have a home. Someone disrespecting your home. What's the first thing you're gonna do? You either gonna respect me or get the hell out. That's just human instinct. You can't be mad at a person that everyone retaliates in that way. Get the hell out. Because guess what? You didn't have to come all the way from your seat to come all the way to tell me that. Okay? Because already millions of people done told me I suck as an owner. So again, when these players talk about the Knicks, just next time give me the player who you talk to that played as a Knick. So your quotes could be valid. Because listen, players talk, yes, we all do. But guess what? I respect people that come up with what is correct, not just what they're telling me out of their mouth. Because again, some people lie to make themselves look good. And again, he's a contractor, Tim. When you're a contractor, you have to make yourself look good.
I feel you. All right. Let me get around. Let me say what's up, Isaiah. What's good, man?
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
I'm good. So make it quick. We don't want to talk about cancer and everything all night. So
yeah, man. Listen, to piggyback what Mark and what Gamma was saying, I just want to say that with this is the part of the season off season I hate when it's just like so boring and it's so like there's no news for basketball right now, so they just cling on to every little story. Yeah. And then Kanter really didn't rip the Knicks, but it's like to the point where it's like, man, I think you got to experience this for yourself because Sim, we're listening to Derrick Rose and Kanter. These guys only been on the Knicks for a year, and I think Kanter was on there for a year and a half. Here's my thing though, Sim. People are biting the hand that feed them, and I'm not trying to say you got to disrespect Dolan because he pays you. It's not that. But for the accommodations that these NBA players get, sometimes it's ridiculous. Like, why didn't Keenan talk about the prayer center that they built for him so that he can pray 5 times a day because he's Muslim?
Well, I mean, listen.
Like, why didn't?
But in Kanter's defense, he didn't say my opinion. He didn't say my opinion is that the ownership is this. My opinion. He said other players. That's and maybe the question. I don't know how the question was phrased. It could have been, "Hey, how come players don't want to come to the Knicks?" You know what I'm saying? But guess what? We're about to change all of this. No more Knicks news. You know what I'm saying? We're about to change that, right?
Yeah, and that's my thing though.
Hold up. But next week, we begin our season preview series. So from now on, we don't have to worry about talking about any rumors from any players, this player said this player said that. We have 20 days until training camp begins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the next, well, I'm going to have a show Wednesday. I will not have a show on Friday because I'll be traveling. I'll be in Connecticut.
Yes, sir. I can't wait to see you, my brother. I can't wait for that.
But I will have a show on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to start kind of prepping for the season preview stuff. And, then starting Monday, the 16th, is going to be our season preview series. And we're going to take a deep dive into the New York Knicks and what the things are going to look like, what the Knicks are going to look like coming up this season, the storylines, what we need to watch out for. We'll look at some stats. We'll break down some film. We're really going to get into it. You know what I mean? So all of this not having stuff to talk about, it ends next Monday. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to have something to talk about all the way up till we get to training camp. Then we're going to have stuff to talk about in training camp. Right?
Hey, Sam, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
This stuff kind of really bothers me. And I know it's not really serious, but it really bothers me. Like, Derrick Rose comes out with a book and this, this, that, and that. And then, he does To me, you have no right to talk when you become unprofessional and you miss a day of work and not call your boss and tell him where he's at. Like at the end of the day, that's so unprofessional. Yeah. Also, too, I agree with you were saying before about when, you know what, James Dolan. It's crazy, Sim, because James Dolan even said, see, people like to grab on the headlines, but if you listen to the interview he did, I think it was on the Mike Fresco show or whatever, he even said that he was going to let the guy come back. But the guy was doing this as a prank to be funny. You can't, like, I know the NBA is entertaining, and I know that, there's storylines and all that, but these are, at the end of the day, these are real people. These are real billionaires. These are real millionaires. These are real people. You can't just talk to people any kind of way and not expect a reaction. I think people need to get that, like, through their head. Like, I feel like they really see the NBA as a TV show, and which it is in some shape or form.
It is kind of. Listen, this, the NBA is, mostly, I would say mostly men watch NBA, but there's a lot of women that watch NBA too. But, it's like a man's soap opera. All sports are like a man's soap opera. You got to admit that. Hey,
I agree with you.
Public Enemy said, he told me to bring you some chicken.
Man, listen, Sim, you know what's crazy? Sim, I'm going to bring you to this nice chicken spot. You're going to go to get some nice pizza on Friday, man. It's going to be beautiful, man. I got a couple spots. I'm going to cook for y'all. It's going to be really great, man. You're going to really enjoy Connecticut. I'm going to show you some Connecticut food, man. It's good, man.
Let me get around to these guys here. I seen somebody ask, why am I going to be in Connecticut? My daughter is going on a college visit in Connecticut. They got a whole agenda set up for her. You know what I mean? Where she's gonna go in. They're gonna, of course, take her to the gym so she can see what the gym, the sport facilities look like, and then they're gonna take her around the campus, and then they're gonna take her out. With the team, they're gonna go to the Mohegan Sun. I'm a little bit questionable about that one. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. What you mean she's gonna go to the? What y'all gonna do there? But anyway. I'm trusting the coach on this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm trusting the coach a little bit on this one. Then they're going to come back. She's going to, spend a night with the players. Then after she spends the night with the players, we're going to, the next morning we'll have breakfast. We'll talk to the coach and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll head back. So, it's one of those type of visits. It should be fun. She should be enjoying it. She should enjoy it. It's her first one. So it's going to be a new experience for, it's pretty cool. Yep. So that's what I'll be doing in Connecticut whenever it is, Friday. Traveling up Thursday, be there Friday. So there will be no show on Friday. All right. There'll be no show on Friday, but I'll keep you updated as far as how things go. All right. Should be cool. Should be cool. Nate, real quick, how you doing? Keep it real quick, bro. Real quick, because we don't want to be talking about Canton Rose all night. Go ahead.
Oh man, all I want to say about that is that anybody who takes it personal, these guys really didn't get us over the hump in any way. If anything, they're just trying to better their careers and whatever they feel like they need to say. I wish players wouldn't talk about what their previous experiences were like. I say just move on and embrace the new opportunity and go for it.
Yeah, well, people want to know like fans want to know those inside stories because we're not privy to it.
But it just opens a can of worms because they always say you never want to burn bridges. You never want to talk about your past employers.
That's true. That's definitely true.
Because everybody talks.
Phil Jackson does it all the time.
Yeah, he's Phil Jackson. He's got 9 rings. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Phil Jackson always doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, there is a little bit of news about the Knicks that I wanted to get to real quick. Not major news, not major in any way. But, we did talk about Chris Wilkes in the last show and how, the Knicks rescinded the verbal contract, voided the verbal contract. Well, it may not be quite yet. May not be done quite yet. All right. The Knicks are going to try to take another look at Chris Wilkes. The Knicks have not fully closed the door. This is an article from the New York Post. All right, by Mark Berman. The Knicks have not fully closed the door on signing rookie Chris Wilkes for the start of training camp, according to multiple sources. While it still appears doubtful the UCLA product will be ruled healthy enough, the club has decided to summon Wilkes for another physical in the next 2 weeks before completely ruling him out, reconsidering an earlier stance. So that should be, Chris Wilkes should feel good about that. The Post reported Friday the Knicks had backed out of a verbal agreement to sign Wilkes to a two-way contract, but had interest in bringing him in when he was healthy enough. Training camp starts September 30th, as we just discussed. Wilkes, who was undrafted, and the Knicks verbally agreed to a two-way contract the day after the draft. He never signed the deal, and the Knicks never announced his signing. However, President Steve Mills and General Manager Scott Perry talked about the small forward at the June 21st press conference, introducing draft picks R.J. Barrett and Ignaz Brzdeikis. Subsequently, the 6'8" swingman did not attend the Las Vegas Summer League in July, with the Knicks announcing he had an illness. At the time, sources said it wouldn't affect his impending contract. Wilkes averaged 17.4 points last year as a sophomore with the Bruins. For now, the Knicks are not seeking another two-way player until Wilkes is officially ruled out. As you know, two-way contract players can play 45 days on the NBA team until the G League season ends in early April, after which there are no limits. So it's not all lost with Chris Wilkes as of yet. There still could be a chance. I guess he'll have another physical within the next 2 weeks, and then the Knicks will make a decision after that. So I'm hoping for the best for the young man, and that he can end up, in a Westchester Knicks uniform. We'll see how that goes. All right. I got who's this? OG Mark? This OG Mark?
Hey, what's up, Sam?
What's going on with you, man? It's been a minute.
Hey, how you been, man? How's it going?
Good. How you feeling?
Let me turn these guys down here a little bit.
Yeah. Nope.
Let's see here. Cool. Hey, Sam.
Well, we lost your video. I mean, I can hear you, but we lost your video. So you took your video out, but go ahead and say what you wanted to say, man. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, when it comes to Derrick Rose, kind of shooting his mouth off a little bit about the Knicks. That whole Chicago deal was crap for us, him and Joakim Noah. It was just a plague for us. So right back at him, But I'm looking forward to, this season and having some young players. There's been one player that hasn't gotten much talk lately. And I'm really hoping that the kid, what's his name, the kid that we just drafted with Barrett, Iggy,
Ignaz.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's going to get some play time. I'm having a bad connection or something.
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit. I mean, you sound pretty clear to me.
You probably need to switch to somebody else, buddy.
Okay, well, I can hear you pretty good.
Yeah, I got some new equipment, and I just don't think I have it adjusted properly yet.
Okay.
Wait a second. Here, let me see.
Well, I can hear you pretty good, and you look pretty clear.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll try and get it figured out, buddy. Sorry about that, man.
No worries, man. No worries. I'm glad you got some new equipment because it looks good and sounds good. I want to get to my man Andy. Andy, what's going on, man? You want to give us a rundown on this fever thing real quick?
I saw the game. It was an awesome game. France versus Australia. It was really, really awesome. It was, the lead changed often and stuff like that. Frank came out of the gates on fire. He took 7 shots the whole game, but the first 7 points he scored in the first quarter. So it was, he was lit. I was thinking that, I don't know, if they gave him some drugs or stuff because he was looking really crazy out there. But I'm happy for him. Hope he's going to come out like that from training camp.
What do you think about Team USA in France? What's your prediction?
Well, you know what? My heart would want France to win, only because of Frank.
Right.
But I think US is going to take the game. But it's not going to be like a 20-point game, like, I don't know, Quiet Money said. I think it's going to be a 20-point blowout. It ain't going to be 20 points. It's going to be a really close game, as all of these, better games from the FIBA tournament. And, I just only hope so, also because Team USA didn't, put up the best roster. They went there with the third suit, let's call it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. And the next game is going to be probably with Serbia, and they are really playing some awesome basketball in this tournament.
Yeah,
so
Serbia is playing some
I'm looking forward even to that game. One game ahead already.
Yeah.
So
Serbia is playing some good basketball. Who do you have taking it? Oh.
You know what? I think it's going to be actually Serbia, probably. I know that the other, on the other side of the bracket, it's going to be, Spain is playing with Poland, so that's going to be a cakewalk, as we saw Argentina whoop them by 30. Mm. But like I told you, that I don't expect Poland to win one more game, even on this tournament. So that's going to be. And on the other side, they got what? Czech Republic with... I don't remember who, but Czech Republic they're probably going to lose that game. So
is Czech Republic with
Australia, I think, right? Yeah, so Australia is going to be, on the other side of the bracket with Spain, and that's going to be a really interesting game because both teams play a lot of pick and roll. And I don't know if you saw the last Spain game when they won against Serbia. I was shocked, but Ricky Rubio had such an offensive performance. Man, he was making shots he never takes even. So he shocked the whole Serbian team. The game plan probably was, just let him shoot 1 or 2 times. And that Ricky took threes, he made them, he took mid-range jumpers, he was playing out of his mind. So it was a really interesting game, and he shocked Serbia. So
yeah. But look, you don't expect that from Ricky Rubio that often, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't expect it from him that often. So yeah. Well, look, Wednesday morning, I'm getting up early, man, so I can see this game. I've been waiting. This is what I wanted. I wanted France to have to play Team USA. I really did. And I'll be up early so I could check it out. I'm going to get up, watch the game, go back to sleep. But I'm going to get up early and watch the game. That's what I'm going to do. I did want to let you know that I did make you a moderator in the forum.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to check it out later on.
That forum, so I'm going to add some different categories, and you'll be able to moderate those, get those categories kicked off, started off, a general category, like you were saying, kind of get it kicked off and everything. So. Yeah,
because we want more guys in the video chat, maybe even not in the live shows, just to chat about the Knicks. Maybe they're going to take the, shyness from the camera and jump in a couple of times with me and other guys, and then they can join the show. I would be happy about that. So the more, the merrier.
Definitely. Well, look, I'm keeping this show short because I got a lot that I have to do tomorrow.
Cool, man. I'm in 10 minutes. I'm gonna wake up my son to get him up to school. So I'm fine. I was gonna tell you that I'm gonna jump off like in 10 minutes. So
yeah. Well, I'm jumping off because I got a lot. I got to get up early and I got some things I got to do. Plus, like I said, I got this new MPC X. It's a production thing, and I want to mess around with it a little bit. But I'm gonna get some last words from everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Then I'm gonna head off. Before I do that, though, I do want to remind everyone that we have a Frank Ntilikina rookie card contest going on right now. right? So I would really like for everybody to participate in this contest to win the Frank Ntilikina rookie card. And it's not that hard to win the rookie card. All you have to do is something good in your community. That's about it, right? So I'm going to read the rules to you so that you know what you got to do. First of all, the contest ends September 23rd at 11:59 p.m. All right? Remember, September 23rd, 11:59 p.m. And all you have to do, the official rules. 1, help someone or do something positive to help your community. And this is going by the honor system. You do that, come to my website, post it, right? Explain to me what you did. We're going by the honor system. So you use the form below to explain how you help someone in your community. Use this form right here. And then write or respond to a post in the NBK forums. And you can get to the forums. You go to members area, fan forum, and there you go. That's it. And as a bonus, if you want some bonus points, you can subscribe on YouTube if you're not already subscribed, and then share the contest on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's it. It's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. The main thing is helping somebody in your community. That's the main thing. Help somebody in your community. Let me know how you helped out somebody in your community, and you'll be entered for a chance to win an RJ Barrett rookie card. That's it. That's all you got to do. So please go there now, or not now, after the show, and enter for a chance. I'm going to put the link in the description, and enter for a chance to win an RJ Barrett rookie card. The contest ends September the 23rd. All right, so go ahead and you can copy and paste that and enter for a chance to win. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get to some last words, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm heading off for the night. Andy, you want to give us some last words? Hey, Andy, you there? He's probably listening to Mark. You see Mark going off. There you go. You want to give us some last words before I take you off?
Yeah, since the Friday show isn't on, I'm going to be here Wednesday. I hope you have a good time at Isaiah's and the Connecticut, University and stuff like that. Hope Jiraiya gets a great time there also. And then what? We're going to see you Wednesday, man.
Yeah, man. We're going to see you Wednesday. I might try to, I don't know, after the game or something, I might try to jump on for 20 or 30 minutes, jump on live for 20 or 30 minutes and talk about the game or something. Might do that.
Cool. I try to join, man.
All right, man. All right, talk to you later.
Yeah,
Are you staying in or you logging out?
Yeah, I'm going to stay the whole few minutes later.
Oh, you're going to stay in for a few?
All right. Yeah. 14 minutes.
All right. Cool. Let me get Guillermo, get some last words in.
Yeah, what's up, sir?
Guillermo, yeah, we'll get some last words in.
Yeah, last words
tonight, bro.
I was trying to go too crazy on D Rose, man. And I just want to make sure everybody. I'm never ever making fun of somebody who has mental issues or whatever that stuff. I'm just saying, be careful what you say, man. You know what I mean? Like, be grateful of the opportunities that people give you when you're trying to come back on your road to recovery, man. Be very humble, be very grateful, man, because you could be right back at the bottom. And, those gifts, sometimes it's not just, the Knicks. That could have been a blessing by God to say, here, let me just get you something to get you back on your feet, and then you go over to whatever team, man. And I think sometimes, people want to step on the Knicks and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I just wish that people a little bit more respectful of the Knicks, man. Like, people want to call us a stepping stone. You know what I mean? But we're not as bad as, say, some of these guys were playing for Donald Sterling when he was literally having his girls come around, showcasing athletes and blah, blah. And, these guys stayed quiet. I didn't hear them issue on Donald Sterling the way they issued on James Dolan until Donald Sterling got removed. And now everybody's woke now, so everybody can talk about Donald Sterling. But when he was there, no one said anything. So, shout out to you, man. But all these guys in the NBA, man, they're just corny. Cantor, actually, I agree with it, but Derrick Rose, man, they're corny. They're all punks. All these guys, man, they don't stand for nothing to me. Like, I just got. Maybe I say all that, but Derrick Rose, man, screwed me, man. So see you later, and I'll talk to you guys.
Are you staying in the chat? Are you staying?
Yeah, for a little bit. All
right, I'll go. All right, let me get to Andrew. My man Andrew, you want to give some last words real quick? Yeah. Here he come. You want to give us some last words real quick?
Not much, man. Just thanks for having me on.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Are you staying on with the guys to talk a little bit, or are you logging off?
Oh, I'll probably stay on, yeah.
All right. Well, let me get these guys real quick. Isaiah.
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
Last words, man. Give me some last words.
Sam, I really honestly rather have talked about Frank and how he's to me he's been playing really confident, so confident in the FIBA. I love this version of Frank. I want Frank to really build off this so that he can keep, like, when he comes into camp, positive, full of confidence, because it's only going to be better for the team and himself. So I rather, listen, the Knicks are going to be fine. Let these ex-players talk. It's whatever. I'm worried about the guys on this team. I think this team is going to be a very special group. I think this team is going to have all this stuff on bulletin boards, and they're motivated. We're the underdogs. I like it. Let's keep it going. Sim, I will see you Wednesday, and then I'll see you Friday. You already know how we're going to rock. So,
all right, man.
Shout out to my man, Aunt G, man. Aunt G got a little jealous. Aunt G, you coming out with us. You already know. You already know the vibes.
All right, man. All right,
man.
I'll talk to you later. Peace. Hey, Mark. I don't even know. I'm looking at. Hey, Mark, some last words, man. Real quick. Last words.
Man, if another X fan come at us again, just void it. They don't matter because, again, they just want to clown the Knicks because it's easy to clown the Knicks because we've been mediocre for 20 years, et cetera, et cetera. So let's stop listening to the media when it comes to the Knicks because it's just all a joke and games for them to laugh about, to talk about. So let's not make it a topic because it's annoying to me. It's just like if you had a bully in school and he comes back and try to bully you. You ain't got time for that anymore. Move on. It's been 20 years. Let the new regime do their thing and shut up.
All right. Nate. Go ahead, man.
What college is your daughter going to, or going to visit?
Well, we don't know if she's going there, but it's called Mitchell College. So we'll see.
Oh, sweet, awesome, man! Congratulations. Hopefully, it goes well.
She's got a couple of in the next 2 or 3 months. She's got a couple of those visits lined up. Of teams of coaches that are looking. Are
awesome, man. Well, hope it all goes well for her.
School, so she's got a couple of them lined up. So, yeah. So it's gonna be busy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Sounds like you're gonna have her plate full. Yeah, man. Just to kind of piggyback what you were saying earlier. I mean, now that training camp's gonna start, can't get more excited for it, man. I mean, we're actually gonna be talking about some real Nick headlines going on, not some stupid idiots that don't play on the team talking about or trashing the team or whatever they want to have their opinions on. So yeah, I'm excited, man. It's going to be good times. And like I said, this is going to be a fun, exciting team to see this year. So
yeah, no doubt.
Right, I guess we'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah. I'll catch you Wednesday. Later. And OG Mark, give us some last words, man.
Hey, man, Sims, again, I'm excited about, the season getting ready to start, all the young talent that we have, and, our opportunity to let some of these young guys shine. How long till the first game of the season? It's on what day?
The first game of the season is like October 24th or something, whatever it is, something like that.
Yeah. So, man, God, it seems so long to have to wait, but Sim, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that there is an outside shot that somehow we could scratch our way into the playoffs?
I think so. I think there's an outside chance that it can happen. We need some things to fall right for us. The chemistry is going to have to be good.
Give us 2 things. Give us 2 or 3 things that you think would definitely have to happen for us to capture, like, say, a spot in, like, say, the A seed?
Top 10 defense.
Top 10 D.
Chemistry is going to have to be good. Right? Rotations. Fizz got to get the rotations down, good rotations, and stick with them. And then some things happen with some other teams that, they some teams that you expect to be in kind of fall out.
Right.
That's what I think.
Don't make it. And that always happens. So
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know if you're gonna stay in with the guys for a little bit, but I'm logging off.
Yeah, no,
All
I'm gonna bounce off too, and I appreciate you having me on, and I've missed all these guys, man.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you back, bro. Glad to have you back. Everything looks good, man. Everything looks pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading out for the night. I want to thank you guys for being here with me, even though you had, Monday Night Football and all that kind of stuff just starting. You guys are here with me, so I definitely appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your week. I will catch you on Wednesday. Remember, no show on Friday, but I will catch you on Wednesday. But subscribe to the channel, though. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post on my community section, ladies and gentlemen. I am out for the night. I will definitely catch you on Wednesday.
That's the jig.